Guys, there are so many benefits to weight training, and I just feel like if you only got a little bit of time and you need your yoga, then this is going to be such a cool combo. We're going to go straight to the top of our yoga mats to get started, and we'll ground down with 3 breaths. So get your feet hip distance apart, relax your arms by your side, take a huge big breath into your belly, your chest and your back. And then as you breathe out, just feel as if you're becoming a little bit lighter in yourself, letting go of your day and whatever's on your mind. We're going to take 2 more big breaths in. And then as you breathe out, if there's any sticky tension around your face, maybe your jaw or around your eyes, let it release. Last one, okay? Big, slow inhale. And then as you come to the end of this exhale, we are going to get ready with our weights for the very first part of the class. I want you to choose a weight that you feel is sustainable to do some squats in. Toes are going to turn out slightly, and you're going to imagine there's a wall behind you. This is just that you don't lean forward too much. You're kind of quite stacked in your body. And what's really nice about this body position is you're using your glutes a lot more than if you were leaning forward a lot. Now, as you get to the top, of course you are squeezing your bum, but don't squeeze until your pelvis goes forward. Just keep your shoulders stacked over your hips. So you're really trying to focus on having great posture all the way through the pathway of the movement. And really, really important, your knees, drive them wide over the little toes, because often whenever I'm watching people do squats, their knees collapse in, and this is just really a sign that you're not using your glutes and you're actually going to really damage your knees. So once you've done your last one, elongate through your arms, turn your feet parallel. I'm going to turn side profile just so you can have a little eyeball at the technique of this one. Really lift through your tailbone to initiate the movement without letting your ribs flare. Ribs stay locked in and feel as if you're hinging just from the pelvis. Squeeze your glutes, drive through the heels to stand up tall, and keep the squeeze at the top of the movement. So these deadlifts are really important for us as yoga practitioners because we often practice a lot of forward folds, we overstretch our hamstrings, and that yoga butt injury from the upper attachments is really common because we're never loading these very powerful lifting muscles that have evolved to be used out in nature with lots of lifting. So I know deadlifts feel very anti-yoga, but guys, honestly, it could not be the healthier thing to do than do a few deadlifts at the start of your practice. Now, as I'm going through the pathway, I'm being really mindful that I'm not bending the movement from my back. And you know what? Sometimes it's sneaky. Sometimes you think you're straight, but can you see I've still got a tucked tailbone? That is going to load your back muscles, and especially if the weight is too much, 1,000,000%, you're going to feel it in your back. So we're going to do one more round of our deadlift, and this time, as you go down and you arrive in parallel, I want you to bring your left arm onto your left leg, step your right leg back, and then use your left hand to be free. So only your right hand is holding your weight. And we're going to pull it back into a row. Now, this is a really nice thing as well for us yoga people because really often we're doing a lot of pushing and we're not using our pull muscles, which means our posture gets affected and our shoulders get really weak. We've got 2 more of these repetitions. And then when you've done that last one, step up tall. Again, both hands are going to hold your weight. Tailbone initiates the deadlift. When you're parallel to the floor with your body, turn your core on, squeeze your glutes even more. This time, left leg steps back. Right arm is going to rest on right leg, and we're going to row again. 5 of these reps. Now, as you're doing the movement, really feel how does my body change according to the weight, and can I minimize those changes so my postural stability muscles are working really hard. When you've done your last one, both hands hold again, stand tall. We're going to do one more deadlift, but only to lower the weight out the way. So initiate by reaching the tailbone back, keeping your core strong, using your glutes, and then set the weight to the side. Both hands are going to arrive down on the mat. Step back into your plank position. Squeeze your glutes powerfully, those same muscles you were using, and then bend the arms to come into chaturanga. Once you've arrived in chaturanga, push back up into your plank. We're going to do 2 more of these. Bend your arms, come into your chaturanga, and then once you arrive, strong push up. Now, if any part of your body sags through this movement, you are welcome to use your knees so you can keep that neutral line through the middle body. Finishing your 3rd rep, lift your hips up, downward facing dog. Do a little bend of the knees and either step or hop feet back into that squat position, bringing your hips down, bring your weight into position, and then stand tall, just as if you'd lift any heavy thing with really good technique, maybe your babies or your shopping. So let's come down and up again for multiple reps. We're just going up and down at our own pace. If you're really hypermobile and really weak, you can do these without weight. You can go a lot slower than I'm demonstrating. But the idea is that you're focusing on using your body with really good form. Sometimes less is more. Let's keep going, my loves. And we can link our breathing. Breathe out on the way up, in on the way down. Good. Feel which is your stronger side, and really put your mind into your weaker side. And we're going to do 1 more rep. Good. And as you arrive in standing, feet turn parallel, lengthen through your arms. So a really nice thing to think about with your deadlift is keeping the weight really close to your legs. Sometimes people like push it really far out. That's another reason people's backs end up hurting. So as you start sliding the weight through the front of the legs, just really keep the weight as close as you can from the whole movement, down and up. In the corner of your eye, check out the shape of your feet. Notice if your inner arches have collapsed. Keep the inner arches lifted with the big toe mound grounded. And then also with the shoulders and the head, just careful that you're not in that habitual sloppy position, but that you're really keeping engaged through your back body. When you've done your last one, we're now going to do our final repetition for those rows. So bring your body down halfway, shift the body weight into the left foot. Your right hand is holding the weight and you're going to row it back, up and down for 5. 2 and 1. Good, guys. We're going to stand up tall. Use your glute to arrive. The weight is now going to shift into the left hand. Right elbow rests on the leg, and we row. 5. Engage your core. Keep your head in line with your shoulders. We've got 2 more to go. Really feel your back muscles doing the movement. Elbow stays close to your body as if you're doing a reverse chaturanga. And then again, stand tall. Now, to just start kicking it into a slightly different intention, bring the weight up to your chest, so a little bit closer towards your heart, and we're going to do multiple step backs into a lunge. So think warrior lunge, but bending your back knee. And as you do it, really take a giant step back, drive through the heel to bring yourself up. So big step back, and then drive through the heel to bring yourself up. Now, when you do the pathway, what you'll notice is that habitually, at a certain point in the movement, you'll maybe collapse, tip a little bit, maybe sway. I want you to minimize all of those as much as you can, because that's just your habitual pattern. It's not necessary to do all these little wiggly movements. So inner arches are lift, glutes are squeezing throughout the whole movement. Posture is tall. See, I did a little funny sway there. We minimize those. I need to focus on my left foot on the way up. So as I lift up, keep my big toe mound grounded, inner arches lifted. Last repetition now, final leg, and then bring the weight again all the way back down. All right, my loves, you're doing great. Now your back might be feeling really tired because it's not used to holding that much weight. So we're actually going to do something from the FRC tradition. I say tradition, I mean method. We're going to actually elongate through the bones of our spine. So really simple, but really intense. Hands are on the front of your thighs. Connect everything as close to the chest as possible. So chin arrives, and you're going to start sliding your chin all the way down the front of your body. Now, obviously, at a certain point, it's going to stop. Squeeze your navel into your spine.
And then start to curl your back down into flexion. So we're starting to stretch that posterior chain through the upper portion of our spine. When you can't go anymore, you're going to start unraveling your body all the way back up. And again, chin comes down, shoulders around forwards. Tuck your tailbone slightly, bend your knees forward over your toes, just a touch, and then round your upper back through the strength of the core, coming down. And then again, keep the core strong as you bring yourself up. So if you're doing this correctly, you'll feel your core gets tired because it's squeezing so hard. One more repetition. Chin comes down, hands slide forwards. This time, instead of rolling back up, we're going to keep rolling all the way down to our feet. Now, at a certain point, you're going to feel you can't flex through your spine anymore. A lot of the movement comes into the pelvis, and it's at this point that I just want you to relax. Let go of your neck, shake it out side to side, and we'll have a breather. Hold onto your elbows and let your whole body sway side to side. Don't think too much about stretching your hamstrings. They'll naturally go into their full range without you forcing it right down at the bottom of the movement and possibly pulling on those hamstring attachments. Okay, beautiful. Bring yourself to the center, hands to the ground, step back into your plank position. So again, focusing now on the front of the body, pull your belly in, push down through your arms, squeeze your glutes, bend the arms for your 3 push-ups. Anytime you want to put your knees down, go for it. 2, and this is your last one. Number 3, once you've done your 3rd push-up, take your hips back into your downward facing dog and bend the knees. On the spot, give me 5 light little hops. If you're feeling that these don't suit your body, you can just leave them out. As you get stronger, maybe you can start hovering and hold a little handstand for a split second. 1 more hop. Awesome, you guys. Now jump the feet to the outside of the hands again, and then you're going to lower your hips down through that squat onto the ground. Grab hold of your weight again, and this time we're going to do a little bit of work on the core. So a lighter weight, I think, is actually really useful for this one. And you can start off when you're just learning, keeping the weight close to your chest, to lower down and to come back up. But as you get stronger, you might want to practice lifting the weight above your head. Now, as you lift the weight up, it's tempting to flare the ribs open. Actually lock the ribs in, and don't be afraid to squeeze your butt here. We're going to come down bone by bone onto our backs. When your back has connected to the ground, squeeze your tummy and rise back up. Nice, you guys. Really strong belly. Sometimes, if the deep core layer is weak, it's called transverse abdominis, your superficial muscles will bunch up. And a way to get them not to do all the work on their own is by really pulling that deep core layer in towards your spine. We've done some other videos on that. You can maybe check that one out before you do this if it's a little too challenging. And we're going to do just 1 more repetition, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up, and all the way down. And you might be thinking, tell me it's break time. Not yet, my gorgeous people. We are almost there though. Bend the knees so that the feet go right underneath the knees, and lower your weight onto your belly. Tuck the tailbone, squeeze the glutes, press the hips up until you feel that there's a neutral line from your knees through your pelvis into your shoulders. So as you lift your pelvis against the weight, now use your deep core layer to push into the weight as well. So you're not letting the weight sink into your organs, your core is keeping it off of those delicate structures. Now once you feel your glutes are starting to fire up, then you know you're in the right position. We're going to keep all of that connection through the front and the back of the body as we lower and lift. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 more. Last one, hold it up at the top and pulse for 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Down and up again, guys. We're going all the way down and all the way up. Big squeeze. Remember, ribs will want to flare. Keep them locked down.
Almost there, okay? 2 more reps to go. At the very top of that last rep, hold and give me 10 pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, my butt's burning, and 1. And yes, we have 1 more round to go. Okay, if you're thinking, no way, Sally, there's no way I'm burning too bad, that's cool, guys. You just stop, take a breather. It's all good. You don't have to do everything. 1,000,000%, it's cool to build up to stuff. Good. And really have a feel as to the mechanics of the glutes as they're squeezing to lift you up and down. Do they feel equal right and left? What adjustments can you do through your feet? Maybe your inner arches have collapsed. Maybe your knees have collapsed. Good. We're going to do 2 more reps. And at the top, hold it there and give me 10 pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Lift the weight up again. Don't get lazy just yet. Rock up and then set the weight over to the side. Guys, thank you so much for doing that video with me. It's been an absolute pleasure. Remember that this is just one tiny segment of a full practice. So if you only got time for this, amazing job. You're going to enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for even just doing this much. However, if you have got a bit of extra time, definitely check out the video that I've linked for you. It's a little stretch and it's going to seal your practice perfectly. Remember that I have some freebies that I'll send you if you click this link below. Give me a like, give me a comment. I can't wait to hear from you. Until next time, I'll see you soon.